Okay, next, before we go to the neuromuscular junction further topic about the skeletal muscle contraction, you will learn about the sacromere structure. This is the basic unit of muscle tissue. I think normally you already learn in Sem 1 too, the basic concept lah. Although in Sem 1 maybe you are not learn in very deep, but actually you already see this kind of structure in Sem 1 lah. About the when you learn about the structure of the muscle tissue in chapter 2, right? Okay. Wait a minute ah. Okay. So when you see this kind of structure, still familiar with it, right? This is a structure of skeletal muscle. So normally, if you see this is the structure of muscle, right? Structure of skeletal muscle at your hand, on your hand. So normally, skeletal muscle, the basic unit of the skeletal muscle is sacromere. So if you see that in the skeletal muscle, there are many fiber at there. So normally there are the bundle of muscle fiber, and within the bundle of muscle fiber, there are many single muscle fiber at there. Like a pie, you can see that there are many fiber at there, and within one single muscle fiber, there are the structure we call as myofibril. And then within the myofibril, there are many basic units of sacromere. So sacromere is the basic structure of the skeletal muscle. So this one is the structure that you need to learn. Okay, so normally, so this one is the combination of the neuromuscular junction and also skeletal muscle. So you will see that this is a neuron, right? Motor neuron, and this one is the part of the neuromuscular junction. And then you see that there are the sacromere there. You see that this blue color one is the sacromere, which is the plasma membrane of the muscle tissue. And then there are T-tubule at here. T-tubule surrounding that bounded to the myofibril, and within the T-tubule, we are containing sarcoplasmic reticulum, which is bound to the myofibril. This yellow color one, and then within the sarcoplasmic reticulum, we containing the sacromere. So this is the sacromere, basic unit of the muscle tissue. And then within the sacromere, you can see this structure. This is the single unit, one sacromere. So in one sacromere, you containing there are many line and also band. You containing Z line, you containing H joint, you containing M line, you containing A band. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms alphabet you need to learn. Okay, so sacromere is the basic contractical unit of skeletal muscle. And then if you still remember that you learn in Sem 1, 2 about chapter 1, chapter 2, organelles, you learn about the cytoskeleton, right? You still remember about cytoskeleton. And within the cytoskeleton, you have 3 types of cytoskeleton, right? Microtubule, intermediate filament, and also the thin filament, if not mistaken. So if you still remember it, about that, you learn about the cytoskeleton. So microtubule actually is considered as one type of organelles. So within the sacromere, they're containing 2 types of filament, which are thick filament and thin filament. And another name is myosin and actin. These is very important terms: thick filament and thin filament. Or another name is myosin and actin. or actin. Yeah, so these two are the basic unit that contribute to forming one unit of sarcomere. And then these two are actually the category under the cytoskeleton, right? Under cytoskeleton, you will still remember inside within the topic of cytoskeleton that you learned in Sem 1, they're containing thick filament and thin filament, right? Thick filament and thin filament, right? These two terms, maybe at that time you are blur about that, so now you are already know lah. Thick filament and thin filament are the basic unit to form the basic unit of skeletal muscle, which are sarcomere. Okay, so if you see this diagram, you can see that this green color is thin filament, and then this purple color is thick filament. Why? Because you can see that more thinner, right? The green color is more thin compared to purple color, and then this purple color is more thicker compared to green color one. So very easy lah. So normally in the sarcomere structure, thick filament is at the middle part. At the middle of your sarcomere will be containing the thick filament. So in thick filament, at the middle one we call as M line. So M line very simple, middle. M line, middle, M line. So at the center of the sarcomere we call as M line. And then after that you can see that within the M line we contain darker A band, right? Darker A band. So what does it mean? A band, darker A band is the place that the interaction between the myosin and also actin, which are the interaction between the thick filament and thin filament. Meaning that during the skeletal muscle contraction, actually the thin filament will push toward the M line one. The thin filament will push toward the M line one. And then H joint is the only the place that containing thick filament only. And then Z line is a line at the thin filament. And then like the I band is the place that only containing thin filament only. So very easy. M is middle, M line. A is dark band, is a darker A band. A band is dark band. So you can see AI, very easy, right? A is dark, I is light. Very easy. Okay. Another one, H joint and Z line. So Z line normally you can see the structure lah. It look like the Z structure, right? Z structure. And then H joint is the interaction between the actin filament and also myosin filament. Okay. So this is explanation. So normally this one is more detailed. So normally I band is only containing thin filament, we call as actin filament only. And then Z line is the thin filament attached together at the sarcomere end. So you see here, this is if you see this this part, actually this is already another unit of sarcomere only. This is already considered as another unit of sarcomere. One unit of sarcomere is at the end of Z line. You see this at the end of Z line. Z line is the place, it's a line to determine single unit of sarcomere. So beyond the Z line is actually another unit of sarcomere already. And then M line, I think I don't need to explain lah. M line middle, right? Middle, at the middle part that also containing only thick filament only. Thin filament will not appear at here. And then A band is a broad dark band made up of overlapping of myosin and actin. And then H joint is a narrow and light area in A band made up of thick and thin filament. So yeah, so very easy to remember, right? M middle, and then A is dark band, I is light band. And then you just know that Z is in alphabet is the final alphabet, right? So Z is the end of the determination of the end unit of the sarcomere. Okay, and then another one is H joint. So H joint is the area that made up of in the A band that made up of only thick filament. So this is the very important structure. This one you should remember. You need to memorize it, memorize it, memorize it, memorize it. So normally in structure question, maybe it will come out this kind of structure and then want you to label it. This one is what, this one is what. You need to know lah. Okay. And then not only that, you need to know about the structure of thick and thin filament too. Why? Because later you will learn about the muscle contraction. So when you want to learn about the muscle contraction, you need to know the structure of thick and thin filament. So thick filament, another name is myosin, and a thin filament, another name is actin filament. So you need to remember it. Okay, so for this diagram, you see this diagram. So normally thick filament, I already mentioned in sacromere. In thick filament, normally is located at the center. It's located at the center only. Thick filament will not move one. In muscle contraction, you need to remember that thick filament is located at the certain location only. It will not move one. The moving only actin filament. Only actin filament is involved in moving only. Thick filament just stay at there. Tak bergerak. Memang tak bergerak punya. Hanya yang thin punya actin filament bergerak saja. Okay, so later you will learn it. So for now, you need to know that the structure, what are the components that you can find in thick and thin filament, which myosin and also actin filament. So I already mentioned myosin, right? So of course in thick filament you containing myosin molecule. So actually myosin molecule and actin molecule, both of them are actually one of the protein fiber lah. You can say is one considered as protein structure molecule, But you just remember that myosin molecule is normally stressed to each other, and actin molecule is like a circle one. Circle one. And then within the thick filament, they are containing the myosin head. Kepala. Myosin head at there. And then within this head, they're containing the actin binding site and also ATP binding site. So what does it mean? Actin binding site is the place that actin molecule will bind to it. And then ATP binding site is the place ATP will bind to it. So these myosin head are very important component. But because this play the role to move the actin molecule. Okay. And then within the thin filament, they're containing actin molecule, right? And also troponin and tropomyosin. Okay, so what are they? Troponin, you see this troponin actually is like a line that cover the tropomyosin. So tropomyosin, you can say that it is the binding site for myosin. Meaning a binding site for myosin, meaning that this is the place that your myosin head will bind to it. Actin molecule will bind to the actin binding site that located in the myosin head, and then this head. So in normal situation, in relaxation, the binding site for myosin, what we call as tropomyosin, actually is covered by troponin one. So only the troponin is coming out, or we know as is open, we call as the running out from the myosin binding site. Then the actin binding site, the myosin head can bind to it. If not, in normal situation like this, myosin head cannot bind to it one. So later we will see that how the action potential come from the neuromuscular junction can make the troponin run away or pass away from the tropomyosin. Okay, so normally this is the explanation thick filament lah. So thick filament is containing protein myosin lah, and then this is a long rope shaped region. A long rope shape, it consists of long rope shape and then containing myosin head. So normally myosin rope is adhere to the tail of other myosin binding together with thick filament. And then myosin head can bind with ATP and also containing actin bioside will bind to the actin filament to form cross bridge. And then for actin, they're containing the actin protein molecule, and then it is a helical structure, helical protein that coil to each other one. And then it containing tropomyosin lah. It is a regulatory protein bound along the length of the actin filament. And then also containing tropomyosin is cover the myosin binding site along the actin filament to prevent the attenuation. So you know that tropomyosin is this line that cover the actin the binding site of myosin 1. And then it also consists of troponin molecule that are bounded to actin filament. So normally troponin is the place to bind the calcium ion. So troponin play the role to make the tropomyosin not bound to the myosin binding site, so that the myosin head can bind toward the binding actin molecule. Okay, so this is the general structure of the thin filament and thick filament. So next, so this is the again the structure. Just that this slide is show you that calcium ion play the role during the fiber contraction. So this one later I will explain it in the skeletal muscle contraction mechanism.